So hello everyone, in this video we'll be understanding position property in CSS. So in this lesson we'll be understanding it practically, so don't worry. So the position property allows us to align any element in the browser screen or in any container. So we can align this box or this element anywhere we want. So if you want this element to come here or here, anywhere you want, so you can do that. But you can also do this thing by specifying the margin, right? So you can specify margin left. Let's say I have specified 400 pixel. Then this element will come here. I can specify margin top. If I want it to come down, I can specify that, right? This is good, but sometimes this doesn't work, and we aren't able to do the all the thing with this margin left and margin top. Sometimes we have a complex layout. At that time we don't use this margin property to align the elements, but this is the suggested way to use, because position property is kind of you can say it can break your whole application, because it is very complex to manage position. But if it is very necessary to use that, so you can definitely use it. And we have different values inside the position property which are amazing. You should definitely use them. So let's understand what is position by adding a position property here. Position property has different values. The first one I'll be discussing about is the static value. The static value doesn't do anything. If you don't write this, then the browser also gives the same value to every element. So every element is by default static. Static means it will behave like a normal element and it will be positioned in a normal flow. So it will not have any special positioning method. So this is the way. So inside that, it will be just a normal thing. So you can see it is starting after this heading, but if I remove this position static, so nothing will happen. It will still be there. So there is no need to add this position static, because uh, browser already gives that. But sometimes we need it for dynamic purposes. We want that, so we can use it. The other value that I want to discuss is position relative. Let's understand position fixed first. So the position fixed actually allows us to make this element fixed at one position, and it will not move when I'm scrolling the page. So if I increase the data, let's say if I increase the data, let's say if I copy this out, now the content is larger, you can see, but let me just increase that more. Yeah, now you can see this is positioned on top of the paragraph. You can see that it is because it is having the highest z index. We'll understand what is z index in the next video. So if I scroll this page, you can see it is fixed at some position. It is not moving actually, so it is still there. But if I remove this position property, let's say if I remove this property position fixed, and if I save this page, then it will not be coming on top of this paragraph. It will be having a block space, and both these elements are on the same index, you can say. So if I scroll, then it is scrolling. So sometimes this is a situation when we want an element to be fixed at some position. At that time we'll be using position fixed, but you can see that it is only coming here. If I want that element to come here, what can I do? I'll be using some direction properties. These direction properties only work if the position is not set to static. So it will not work with the position static, it will work with the other ones as well. So if I add, I want it to come here, right? It is the bottom right corner. So I'll specify that you have to come at the bottom. Let's say you have to give a gap of 10 pixel. If I do this, so this element will come at the bottom. You can see that it is coming at the bottom of the window. And I want this element to come at the right place, not in the left place, right? So for that, I'll be specifying right and the gap you want from the right side. Now you can see it is having 10 pixel gap here and 10 pixel gap at the bottom, and it is fixed here. It will not move. So this is how we can add position, and similarly I can add top left as well. If I want the element to come at the top position, from top I want the 50 pixel gap, and from left I want, let's say, 20 pixel gap. So it will take up that gap and it will get the top 50% 50 pixel gap, and from the left side it will get this gap. And if I increase the gap to larger point, let's say if I increase it to 200 from the left side, so it will get the 200 pixels gap in the left side. Similarly I can increase it for the top position as well, but if I specify it 0, then it will take up the 0 pixel gap on the left and right direction. You can see that. And the default padding is given by the body, so you don't have to worry about that gap. And if I specify in negative, so it will go outside of the scope of this window. You can see it is going outside of the scope in top direction. Similarly I can specify negative values in the left as well as in the others like right and bottom as well. So basically it is used for positioning the, or for aligning the items if it is having certain positioning method. So this is actually for that. Let me just specify some good value here, 50 pixel. You can see that. Okay, let me just make it 50 pixel. Now you can see. Okay, so now you can see that it is actually having this. And now if I, let's say, add a different position method, let's say if I add relative, what will happen, it will start the top left and everything from the direction where it was. So it is not coming at the top of the elements or top of the other paragraph. Instead it is starting everything from here. But if I set, let's say if I increase left from 30 pixel here, so it will take the 30 pixel from here. So you can see that. And if I increase that top, let's say 5 pixel, so it will take up the 5 pixel from the position it was earlier placed. So it is position relative. Similarly we can do for bottom and for right as well. So this is it for this video. In the part 2 of this video, I'll be discussing about the other positioning method like the absolute and the sticky. So let's meet in the another one. Thank you for watching.